Yo guys, what's good? There's no intro today, but sorry if I wasn't posting like I usually do. I just been trying to catch up on school and stuff like that, and just trying to get that done. So, anyways, this is what if Deku was All for One's son, part 1. So the birth of Izuku Shigaraki, son of the number 1 villain, All for One, and his wife, Inko Midoriya. Izuku was a caring and kind child. Although whenever it comes to, he's ruthless, and he can become ruthless, especially when it comes to family matters. He does not care about a life. He will kill if it means hurting his friends or family. So now Izuku is 4 years old. They take him to the quirk doctor. And the quirk doctor says Izuku's quirk, and his quirk is he has All for One. But this, I'm doing something that no one's ever done, or at least when I've seen this. Inko's quirk mixed with All for One's quirk, and so he's able to attract the people to him, and he can steal their quirks. So, and it's almost impossible to get out of his grip. As the quirk doctor is astonished by this. So now Izuku is 4 years old. Izuku had just gone to school the next day. As he's talking Bakugo, as Katsuki's like, "Hey Izuku, look at my quirk!" As he shows off explosions. As he's like, "What's your quirk?" "Oh, it's a mix between my mother and father's quirk." As he's like, "Cool. How does it work?" And don't forget, he can still get the quirk back. He just know, but his dad showed him how to do it. He's like, "I'll show you." He's like, as he pulls Bakugo towards him, and then he steals his quirk. As he shows him, as Bakugo's just so astounded, he's like, "Can I have my quirk back though, please?" He's like, "Sure." As he gives it back to Bakugo, he's like, "Okay." So 10 years later, Izuku and Bakugo are the best of friends. And they've done everything together. They're basically almost inseparable. And Izuku has stolen multiple quirks from villains, too. And in this one, the League of Villains is formed just by Shigaraki. Since one day when Izuku was 8, All for One actually fought All Might. As the heroes came in, as All Might fought, as All for One tried to negotiate with All Might, as he's like, "Look, Toshinori, I'm not that villain anymore, and I'm not going to fight." As he smiles, says, "I have a family now, and I don't want them to have to be endangered from what I've done. So I gave up, and I'm a professional businessman." He's like, "So that doesn't mean," as All Might says, "So that doesn't atone for anything. You've killed others, and you've stolen hundreds of quirks." Like, "That's because of my quirk. My quirk makes me power hungry. I never wanted any of that." As Izuku comes out, as he says, "Dada, what's going on?" As he's like, as All Might rushes out All for One. As Izuku's like, "Papa!" As he uses one of the quirks he has, a barrier quirk. As he as Izuku protects his father with it. As he looks at All Might in anger, as he says in a demonic voice, "Don't touch my father or any one of my family." As he punches a ever living shit out of All Might, and it sent that man's flying. As he's like, "Izuku, I want you to do one thing." As I'm gonna say he's still done that experiment with Kurogiri. As Kurogiri actually lives with them, and he actually likes Izuku a lot. He actually views him as a nephew, and Izuku views Kurogiri as an uncle. So now he says Kurogiri. As he's like, "Yeah?" As he's like, "Yes, master." As he's like, "Take Izuku and go somewhere else." And he's like, "Izuku, before you go." As he gives him some of his most powerful quirks. He gives him a flying quirk, an elemental quirk, and a plasma. And also he also gave him his immortality and a resurrection quirk. As he's like, "Take him away, Kurogiri." As he opens up a portal, as Izuku's just screaming, "Dad! Mom!" As Sashi's like, "Inko, why don't you go with him?" As she says, "If you're dying, I'm dying with you. I just want our son to live for his dream. And I just want him to be who he wants to be. Even if I'm not there for him, I want to watch over him." And then all the heroes attack him. As the fight eventually led to the death of Inko and All for One. And when Izuku came back and saw this, he was angry. He was enraged because the heroes just killed his parents. As Izuku decides to become a vigilante. As he also has a self quirk he stole. And he also has a quirk that's basically like chakra from Naruto. He's like, yeah. So he's already pretty OP. As he decides to become a vigilante. His vigilante name is the Black Fox. As he will go out every night and scout the city, being as Kurogiri have a comlink. Sorry about that. So Izuku has been doing this work until he was 14. I know I said 10 years later, but that's a mess up. I meant to say 4 years, since he was 8. And then on the last day of middle school, Katsuki knows that Izuku's a vigilante too. Says they never keep secrets from each other, they promise that. As the teacher announced that Izuku and Katsuki want to go to UA, as everyone's whispering, yeah, they're definitely gonna get it. They're the strongest kids in their school. Plus their quirks are insanely powerful. Especially Izuku. He has multiple quirks and he can steal others. As Izuku says, "Hey, don't put yourselves down, you guys. With hard work and determination, you guys can become heroes too. I believe in you all." And they'll say, "Thanks, Izuku." Like, "Hey, Izuku, I want to ask you something." He's like, "Sure, what is it, Katsuki?" And he's like, "I want to be a vigilante with you." And he's like, "This is a dangerous job, right?" It's like, whatever it takes. Besides, we're friends. and I want to help you. I was like, okay then. As I'm gonna say, he always carries a spare orange and black outfit on him. As he's like, welcome to the team, Orange Fox. As then during these 10 months, they become well known all over Japan as the Fox duo. They're as they also pick up kids that been abused and wronged by their families. People they picked up are Hitoshi Shinzo, and he also picked up a yellow-haired boy with a black stripe in his hair, basically a Pikachu ripoff. You already know who that is. And a black-haired boy with red eyes. As they're known, as then the three of them joined Izuku Akatsuki being vigilantes. As they're known throughout all of Japan as almost mythical like people, and they get the jobs done so swiftly that no one even noticed what had just happened. Until one day, the three of them are surrounded by pro heroes. As Izuku says, "Korigiri, portal now!" It's like yes, Izuku. As he opens up a portal for all of them, as he opens up a portal for them, for the four of them, as he's like, only 4 people can go in this. As he says, you 4 go now. As he's like, Orange, come here. As he quickly gives Bakugo a temperature quirk, so it changes his body temperature, so it allows him to use his quirk more efficiently too. And little does he know, he could somehow change its explosion's power. Since he's been working on a technique, so he can make his explosions hurt someone from the inside out, instead of from the outside. So as he's like, "You 5 go now. I'll hold him off for as long as I can." As he uses his telekinesis quirk that he got from a random villain, as he throws them all in the portal, as they're all like, Black Fox! As they all try to reach out for him, as he's like, now where were we, heroes? As he pulls out his sword, as he rushes at the heroes. Izuku managed to take out a few of them, but when people like Aizawa joined and Endeavor, unfortunately he got captured. It's like time to see who you really are. As they take off the mask, as they see the boy from 6 years ago. As then the next day he's interrogated. He's like, "Where's your hideout?" As he's like, "I'm not ratting out my teammates. We've been through thick and thin together. You just think I'm gonna give up and let them just give them up like that?" It's like, I don't care if I'm in prison. My friends are my friends, and they're also my comrades. It's either we ride together or we die together. As he's like, very well then. As I'm doing Izuku dirty in this one. As he says, as I was saying, So, as I said, I was doing Izuku dirty in this one. As they put a bracelet on him. As his bracelet would send volts of electricity through his body. And he also had a quirk canceling bracelet too. But it didn't erase all his quirks. Luckily, he had a shock resistance quirk. As he wasn't really phased by it, it just stingled a little. As it would crank up the voltage more and more, causing Izuku more and more pain. As they're like, you gotta tell us where they are now. He's like, I'll never. As they tried to do this to Izuku for 4 months, for 4 months, a week before the entrance exam. They're worried for Izuku. As they heard, as so then next thing you know, they see Izuku right beside him as he's like, hey guys, as they're like, Izuku? As they all hug him, as they're like, what happened? It's like, if you're wondering how Izuku escaped, this is how. So, that day when Izuku was getting tortured, they're still trying to get the information out of him. As he says, as they're like, damn, he still hasn't told us. It's just like you'll be able to find him anyways. We have multiple places. We are everywhere, but we are nowhere. As then when the heroes and police officers leave, they said Izuku was in a prison cell too. As he manages to escape the prison. And he gets as he breaks his quirk canceling collar. And the shock bracelet too. He had. I know it's usually a shock collar, but this one is equivalent to a shock collar. As he gets this calm thing that was right there, as he's like, Koi Gary. As he's like, Izuku. He's like, open a portal. As he jumps off as the heroes are on the top of the building. As Izuku says where he is. As then he jumps off just before he hits the ground, a portal opens up and catches him. As they're like, damn, what's been happening to you? As he says, they've just been trying to get information out of me. They're trying to get me to rat you guys. They tried to get me to rat you guys out. And you still didn't? No. I told them, we're like a family. We ride together or we die together. As they're all like, right. It's like, well, now I gotta change up my appearance. They know who I am. As he dyes his hair black, as he uses an appearance change quirk to change his face up. As he looks like his AFO one's brother, basically, but just with black hair. So he's kind of like a light person, like a light or like person. As I'm saying, also made it look like he has baggy ass eyes. I'm saying. So yeah, he basically looks like an different MHA version of Al, if you think about it. Well, let me guys know if you actually want me to do what if Deku was L or Light. I'll be down. I'll actually be down to do that. So Izuku in the final will take the entrance exams for UA. when they get there, they they do really well on the test. And then when it's time for a practical test, they're all split up. It's like good luck. It's like right. Who's like, which quirk should I use? They don't know. They don't know most of my quirks. Like, I guess I'll just use a strength enhancer. As he uses a strength enhancer the entire time, he starts to punch through robots and starts to give them hell. So now they're like, "What's that boy's name?" Izuku officially changed his name too. As he's like, as it says, Izuku Yagara. No, as it says, no, as it says, Akira Alada. I don't know. I just can't think of a name. And no, actually, I tell Akama. So yeah, he said. So when those 0 point shows up, Izuku just punches it and blows it away. And so now he says, "That was easy. Well, it's time to go." As he teleports to the entrance to the UA, as he sees Kaminari, Kirishima, Bakugo, and Shinzo, as he's like, "You guys, how'd you guys do?" And like, "Yeah, we definitely got in." Like, nice. As he says, you guys should probably change your hairstyles up too. They don't know your face, but they know your hairstyles. It's like, okay. As they all change their hairstyles, Kirishima changes his hairstyle to his canon hairstyle. Shinzo puts his hair down and changes it to, I'm gonna say, what he changed it to a white. Bakugo changes his to red, and Kaminari basically makes his the opposite, black with a yellow stripe, basically. So I'll just leave it off here, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Adios, muchachos.